Hello again, Eric Arnold, occasionally known as the Big E, here again in the secondary studio, kind of alternating back and forth between the secondary studio and the primary studio, which is known as the sports barn. We're doing it, I don't know why I'm doing that, frankly. It is easier to shoot here in the secondary studio. It is Wednesday, the 12th of May. We've got a number of MLB picks for you here today. Well, let's recap what happened Tuesday. Let me get my notes up here, see if there's anything I wanted to cover. Oh, I saw one of our subscribers stop by, Dana Bond. Nice to see you again, Dana. I believe she's married to James Bond. I don't know why I think that. Honestly, I can't remember why. I think there was a James Bond. I think he's a subscriber. I think that's his name. I have no idea if that's his real name or not. Well, anyway, nice to see y'all stop by. She thinks I'm a farmer. Sure, you know, I can farm, have farmed, have grown things. You know why I don't anymore? Deer. Deer are remorseless eating machines, and you know, it's just too much work to keep deer off whatever you're growing around here. You know, if you're serious about it, you just kill them. But my wife has an issue with whacking the deer, so as long as, you know, the grid stays up, it is easier to just go to the grocery store and give them money. That is easy, and that is what we're doing at the moment. However, we reserve the right to start up our own victory garden if we need to, should the grid go down, at which case, you know, the deer, you know, all prohibitions against whacking deer, if the grid goes down, that's all out the window. So, you know, I hope the deer are smart enough to know that. You know, they come right up to you right now and just, you know, give you the finger and eat your crops right in front of you. It's like, just be careful, deer. The worm may turn someday. So, at any rate, well, let's look at yesterday. Not make this video 30 minutes long. Losing day. It wasn't a disaster of a day. It was a losing day. I mean, it probably should have been a winning day. We just had some, frankly, I think some bad luck. We were in the exact right place on that Cubs game. The Cubs, you know, smashed the ball all over the ballpark. Just hit into bad luck, line drives right at people. I think they had 11 hits. The Indians had 5. Just, you know, Baez doesn't play, has a back injury, and then Bryant taps out of the game. You know, in the middle of the game, Bryant taps out. You know, so the two, you know, like I said, you're looking for 3 guys there to play, and if they're playing, you know, I feel safe in playing the Cubs. Well, 2 of them didn't play, you know, and unbeknownst to us when we made you know, the pick. So, bad luck. We lose. We should have won. The Reds. The Reds. Pittsburgh Louis was right on that one. He had the Pirates, and Jesus. The Reds are a bad team. Votto, no Votto. I think we can just safely throw them away and never play them again. I watched some of the highlights. It's like, what the hell? I mean, they pay these guys subscriber X, right? They're paid players, because it didn't look like it. You know, it looked like a bunch of high school players. You know, you got a guy on third base and 2 outs, and the catcher calls a curveball, and then the pitcher bounces it, and the catcher acts surprised. Like, whoa! I never expected him maybe to bounce a curveball there that I called. And, you know, he makes no effort whatsoever. Ball goes to the backstop, run scores. You got one of the best hitters in baseball at the plate. You're on first base. It's a 3-0 count. I think I'll try to steal, even though I'm not very fast. He gets thrown out. Next pitch is a home run. Well, that's another run that went by the board. That should have been a 2-run home run instead of a solo home run. And then that best hitter guy, late in the game here, the Reds are coming back. It's 4-2. It's 4-1. He gets a big hit, drives a run in. Now it's 4-2, and he just runs right into an out third base with nobody out. In the 8th inning. It's the 8th inning. You're down 2. You're not 1, 2. So you can't get thrown out there, but he does. He does. And there's just, I know who their manager is. The guy was a losing player when he was here in Philadelphia, and I'm sure he's a loser now. David Bell. That's why they do stupid shit like that, because he lets them. So, it's just, we'll just have to try to remember that going forward. Just never play the Reds. Just don't play them. So, lost there with the Reds. Oh, what else? Well, the Phillies, I was impressed there. They had every reason to blow that game, and they dug in hard and came out the winners. So, good for them. The Tigers, they had a 7-0 lead, and then blew it. Somehow they blew it. I guess that's what, teams that are, on 100-loss pace do. But they dug in and got the win. They came back in the bottom half of the 9th and got the run they needed to put them into the winners column. So I still think the Tigers are a live play here going forward. They're not that bad. So if we can get big prices on the Tigers, we're going to be looking to play them. Braves, big disappointment there. They were up. They were up the majority of that game and just slipped away in the 8th inning. So that was disappointing. The Angels, we could put them in the same category as the Reds. Just, bad team. Just a bad team. Overrated team. Trout has got to be more, I guess he's got to be more consistent, because there was a game there to be had last night, and he didn't do anything. So, really none of the Angels hitters did. So, and the Diamondbacks, they came through for us. Big effort there by them. So, losing night. All right, what else? I'm reading an article, and I haven't totally digest. It's a long article. It's an in-depth article. It's got a lot of facts, a lot of citations. It's written by a man named Nicholas Wade. Nicholas Wade is a science writer. He was the science writer for the New York Times for, I'm going to say, 20, 30 years. He retired in 2012. I believe the man's British. I just thought of a joke from It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. I just need to know one thing. Are you English? So I think he's English. And his article that appeared in the website Medium, I guess, is that a magazine? Sounds like some scholarly scientific website / magazine, Medium. Well, at any rate, his article appeared in Medium on the 2nd of May. This was brought to my attention by Tucker Carlson Monday. So I'm reading the article, and anyway, the point of the article is about the virus, of course, and he's trying to figure out where it came from. A question that nobody's really dug into too hard. It's more like, all right, let's just get through this goddamn thing before we worry about, exactly what happened there, and should we be concerned about taking steps so this never happens again? Should people be held to account? There's, in a way, I'm not even that paying attention to that stuff, because I know goddamn well no one's ever going to be held to account. I know this. At any rate, Wade, and again, you read the article. I'll put the link in the write-up section. You can click on it to your heart's delight, and you can make your own decisions. Wade lays the facts out, and he basically makes the conclusion, the obvious conclusion, frankly, to me, that of course it escaped from a laboratory in Wuhan. Of course it did. He's got a lot of facts there to back that up. You know, he basically says, these are your two choices of how this thing came to be. You know, here's your, it escaped from the laboratory scenario. Here's your, it came from a bat out of the wild scenario. He said to believe that, all this totally improbable or implausible stuff would have had to happen. So you make the call. And you know, it's so, and then the interesting part is this Wuhan work that was being done on this virus is called gain of function. What that means is basically taking viruses and making them more dangerous in a laboratory setting. In other words, well, this is kind of deadly. Let's make it really goddamn deadly. Let's really tweak it and twist it, because they can do stuff like that, believe it or not. You know, they can really gin up some nasty stuff artificially. And I know that sounds like movie type stuff, but apparently it's accepted practice in the virus field that they do this stuff. And there's apparently a school of thought within that virus field that, and maybe this isn't such a good idea, man. You know, in other words, we're creating some nasty shit here. Where's the plus and minuses on this? You know, in other words, the pluses would be, well, we'll learn so much more about viruses and we'll be able to stop them in the future. Or maybe one of these things walks out on the bottom of somebody's shoe and gets loose. You know, and Wade points out that that sort of thing is not uncommon. In other words, it's happened before that viruses have got out of laboratories. You know, definitively, I would think what he's telling you is proven. You know, in the past, this happened, that happened. We know it came from the laboratory. You know, maybe we don't have proof yet that it came from the Wuhan laboratory, this one, but in the past, they have gotten out of laboratories. So he's saying, you know, that's definitely a risk. You know, so, you know, you got a chance that you could do some real good, or you got a chance you could have a real disaster. So, well, should we be doing this gain of function stuff? And, you know, it's pretty clear they were doing it. They were doing it. And Wade is linking the funding for this to the United States. That we're funding this stuff. And one of the guys that knew we were doing that is Fauci. That son of a bitch Fauci. He is a bastard. He's going to be one of the biggest villains when all this thing is done. Frankly, when I think when all this is over, I'm going to say that Fauci's name will be said in the same breath with names like Mengele. Mengele. If you don't know who Mengele is, he's one of the Nazi doctors. You ever read the book Boys from Brazil? Mengele. Yeah, that's who I think Fauci is going to be equated with when we're all said and done with this. But you read that article, and there's going to be more said about this as far as we go on. You know, I don't think it's just going to be forgotten. Nothing's going to happen, of course. You know, Fauci isn't going to be put in jail or anything done to him. Well, of course not. You know, who's going to do that to him? His buddy Joe Biden? Of course not. You know, his buddy Donald Trump, who, you know, kept him on staff. He should have fired him, but of course he didn't. Of course he didn't. So, you know, no one's ever going to answer for this virus. In one of the biggest killing man-made disasters ever. You would think somebody would. In the movies they would. Wouldn't they? But, you know, I guess this is real life. All right, baseball. Baseball. What do we got here? All right. Well, we're going to start off here with the Mets. That's an early game. The Orioles had a lead last night. They had a lead. They're going into, I guess, the ninth inning with a lead, and they couldn't hold it. They couldn't hold it. The Mets came back and won it. Walk-off win. So the thinking is, that was it. Orioles, you had your chance. Now, you know, less than 15 hours later, you got to play again on getaway day. I think the Orioles just mail it in here. Walker, he's been pretty good for the Mets. Harvey, I'm sure he'd love to pitch a shutout against his old team, but he's just not that good anymore. So I think this is just mail-in time for the Orioles, and the Mets, I think you're getting some value there. I'm not that interested in this game. I only got 1 star on it, but Indians, Cubs. We're going with the Indians. Same kind of thing here. I mean, the Indians are going to have a rookie going. Excuse me. So I don't know how good he's going to be, but, they have a pretty good bullpen. So if he's short, they might be able to pick up the pieces. I just don't think the Cubs are going to score. Baez, a back injury, he's not going to play. And if he does, he won't be any good. Bryant had to leave an incredibly tight, important game last night. They said it's an illness. And every time you go on like the Roto World sites and you say, oh, what's wrong with Chris Bryant? Well, it was just an illness, but he'll play tomorrow. No, he won't. No, he won't. I mean, if he was so sick that he had to come out of a super important game in the middle of it, and he's one of their best players, I just can't imagine he's going to play today. In less than, again, this is an early game. He's going to play in less than 14 hours. Suddenly, he's just going to magically be right. No, I don't think so. And if he is, to me, if I'm his teammate, I'm sitting there going, you couldn't have gutted it out for 4 more outs last night when we needed you, but now you're right today. So that's why I don't think he plays. So you're getting a shorthanded Cubs team there. We'll take the Indians. Well, not laying a short price, 108. Yeah, Indians. Phillies, they're playing well. The Phillies are playing well, except for that hiccup in Atlanta. The last 10 days, the Phillies are playing pretty well. Harper homered last night. The only, hiccup here is Real Muto won't play. But his backup guy last night had a huge hit that helped them win the game. So he'll play today. He's feeling good about himself. It wouldn't surprise me if Andrew Knapp has 2 hits tonight or today. Zach Wheeler is tonight. Anyway, Wheeler, he's kind of being morphing into the Phillies ace better, perhaps, than Aaron Nola. So I think we're getting a relatively short price for just about an ace. Well, he nearly threw a shutout last time out. A 9-inning shutout. Not too many guys can do that. So we're going to go ahead. Lester, he's 37 years old. We just think he's just so. And, we think he's probably good for 5 innings. And then, the Phillies will get some swings at some bullpen guys, square them up, just like they did last night, like the Phillies. Those are all kind of throw-in 1-star games. Now, the ones we like, here are the games we like. There's no number on this game, this Yankees game yet. Let me double check as I'm speaking here to see that they haven't. No, still no number. Not sure what they're waiting for. Garrett Cole, this is, one of these deals where Garrett Cole must start or no action because he's the one we want. He's going to be good. How good, we don't know. He was, we got beat with him at a pretty big price last time out. And, I guess we're sticking our face in the fan again here. But, he wasn't terrible. I mean, he just, he only struck out 4 guys. He didn't have a good outing, and he still almost won the game. Honestly, his bullpen blew it for him. So the Yankees, I think, are starting to get right. They for a while there, the Rays just completely had their number. Now I'm kind of thinking the Yankees are starting to square themselves away. Voit played last night. He looked pretty good. He almost hit a home run, hit one to the wall. I think he's pretty close to right. Stanton's playing well. Judge is playing pretty well. Urshela's back. He's a key guy. Yeah, this is just about the Yankees, best self out there right now. And I think that with Cole going, yeah, I think this is a really good spot for them to just keep on doing what they're doing and just go get a nice, easy W with Garrett Cole on the mound tonight. Angels, it was a perfect spot for them last night. You couldn't have set it up on a platter any better for them, and they still didn't get it done. So, that's what you're looking at here, basically. You got a team like the Angels that underachieves. You got a team like the Astros that overachieves. You go with the Astros. The Astros generally beat the Angels because they just do. They're better. They know how to win. The Angels don't. Urquidy, he's been excellent the last few starts. Heaney, he's probably going to be short. The Angels don't have a bullpen. That's where we're looking there. And it's a short price. I mean, we're only laying 118. Yeah, we like that. Our top play. Only laying 125 here. I mean, the Diamondbacks, they're home. They finally broke through. They've lost a number in a row on the road, but now they're home. They're swinging the bats. I mean, they're swinging the bats pretty much up and down that lineup. We like that. I like that. I like it when a lineup, I can say, all right, I might get a hit through any of these guys. I don't like it when just two guys are swinging the bat and the rest are 0 for 4s. That's pretty easy to pitch. I'll just pitch around you. I'll pitch around you. It's like the Nationals, right now. Well, let's see. Trey Turner, Juan Soto. We'll just not get beat by those guys and then strike out Josh Bell, and we're good to go. So, the Diamondback lineup right now, those guys are swinging the bats. The Marlin lineup, not so much. Those guys are really, other than Jesus Aguilar, they're all punchless. They're useless. They're outs. Trevor Rogers has been excellent. This young first-round pick that the Marlins have that's kind of come out of nowhere, unheralded dude, left-hander. We're going to say this is a regression game for him. He has faced some pretty punchless teams, and now I think you're going up against a team swinging the bats in an offensive stadium. Let me see you do it here. I want to see you do it here, Trevor Rogers. Go ahead. Just show me. I used to live in Missouri. Show me, Trevor Rogers. We're going to lay 125. I think Zach Gallen, he's been fine. Since he came off the IL, he's been fine. I think we have a huge advantage in this game with Gallen and the hot hitting D-backs. We think they're going to get to Rogers. So, top play there. And then lastly, we're going to lay a huge number here with the Dodgers. The Dodgers, they've been scuffling, they've been stumbling, it's been a perfect storm of suck for these guys. They're almost at 500. I mean, it's like, what the hell? I thought this was a 110-win team, and now all of a sudden, I think they're going to be all right. I don't think this is suddenly the end for these guys. Last night they had every opportunity to just go up the track. They were behind late in the game to the Mariners, and they got the game. They stuck in there. They got the big home run late to put them up. Kenley Jansen discovered that he still could pitch. I think that was it for the Mariners, who are not that. They're just not that good. They had their chance to get one there in Los Angeles. Now, they get a game tonight, then they go home and play again Thursday. I think they play the Indians at home Thursday. I just think this is a giveaway game for the Mariners. They're just not paying attention. It's like they're going to face a good pitcher, Julio Urias. He's a budding ace, this kid. You know, he's kind of, you know, I'm not a Dodger fan. I don't see that much Dodger baseball, but, you know, at the moment, him and Kershaw, who's better? You know, I wonder. You know, is that an outrageous statement to make? I wonder. But yeah, I think we're getting some hidden value here with Arias. You know, in other words, if that name said Kershaw, this would be minus 280, 300. It says Arias, it's only minus 239, 240. You know, here's a factoid for you. These type of big favorite games the Dodgers have at home in Chavez Ravine, they win 80% of them. You know, as Casey Stengel said, you can look it up. They win 80% of these kind of big favorite games. You know, just so you know, 80%, that equates to minus 400. That's what that equates to. So at minus 240, you know, that's only like 68%, 69, yeah, we'll say 69, 70%. You know, there's value there, we think. It's going to hurt like hell if we lose, and I'm going to be pissed. But I think there's value there. You know, I just think that the Dodgers are the Dodgers. You know, this is still a 9,500 win team. That's what I think. All right, so there you have it. There you have it. Top play the Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks. And then we'll fill in, you like the Astros, the Dodgers, and the Yankees. And then if you really need some action, we got the early games there with the Mets, Indians, and Phillies. Good. Great. Thanks. We appreciate everybody coming through, taking the time to watch. Appreciate anybody that, you know, comments, hits the like button, what have you. We'll see you tomorrow, I imagine. Eric Arnold, signing off.